Well, hello and welcome back, my body language buddies. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the body language guy, and welcome to the sixth episode of the Body Language Guy show. I know it has been a bit confusing. I started in the Power Pundit without any numbers, then I started using numbers, then I'm in the Body Language Guy. Everything is part of the plan. This has an order. You know that in this it can be messy a bit sometimes with me, but everything has an explanation. Everything is part of a plan, and you know that all these experiments that I do are always with only one goal in mind: to give you the absolute best experience, the best information, the best analysis, the best of everything, and the finest content out there in YouTube. Not only in human behavior and knowing how to persuade and how influence works, so person to person, or person to masses, but also a bit of satire and humor, having a good time. That is the goal. That is my goal with this channel and with this show. And well, before we begin, I'm seeing all your comments, your lovely comments. Remember that I will be keeping an eye on your comments to make sure that everything goes sweet. I know that everything is going to be sweet with you. You're so lovely an audience, but an announcement that I had to make yesterday, and I didn't because, well, I took yesterday, Sunday, to recharge, to watch the Madison Square Garden rally. Of course, we're going to be talking about that today. And also very important is to plan the week ahead. And among those plans, there's something that I said maybe at some point I should know. Well, I did a thing. And I want to share it with you right now. Some of you already know if you have been following me on X. Maybe you're watching this on X right now. There's a live stream is through YouTube on my Body Language Guy channel on YouTube, on X, Kinesics, and on Rumble, the Body Language Guy. Now, in fact, I just made a mistake saying it. This is not live through the Body Language Guy channel on YouTube, because the Body Language Guy channel on YouTube is not the Body Language Guy channel anymore. It is the Jesus Enrique Rosas channel. And well, let's see why did I make this change. It's really simple. You know that I have so many channels here on YouTube, and I have so many interests, and as of late, well, body language per se has been like 10% of my content, but I still have been talking about human behavior, and we have still been commenting news and what is going on, especially with the elections, and we are 8 days upon them. But I say that the Body Language Guy, as the concept, the name is gonna, let's say, live on as the name of the show itself. But the channel, I want the channel finally to be my name. You might remember that I have told you the story more than a couple times, that my original idea of calling this channel the Body Language Guy is because since it was in English, I never believed that people were going to remember my name. The people in English-speaking countries, Jesus Enrique Rosas, that is so complicated. Give me that must be, I forgot his name. The Body Language Guy channel, it's like yeah, fulano de tal, yeah, John Doe. It's the John Doe Body Language channel, something like that. That's how I thought it was going to go, and to my surprise, almost instantly, you were so loving and so amazing with my name that I say, okay, this is interesting. But I was already the Body Language Guy, so I decided to make the change, since so many of you not only like the way I say it, you pronounce it yourself at home when I say it, and you practice it at home. It's a bit odd, right? It's still something strange. It's a strange feeling, but it's really humbling at the same time. So this is my channel now, has always been. I'm still going to talk about body language, the handle, you see the handle of the channel is still the Body Language Guy, and the show is going to be right here. You can see it here, the Body Language Guy show. So for the time being, it's only the name of the channel that changes. And you might be saying, what happened to the Power Pundit? You're gonna leave the Power Pundit on a corner. Why are you doing your show, the daily show, here today? I'm always making experiments with the YouTube algorithm. I never know how it's gonna go. The idea, I do this to see how is the most efficient way to have the highest outreach, and this is part of that experiment. And by the way, something that we haven't said, we haven't celebrated, is that in this wonderful channel, in my wonderful channel with my name now, we have arrived at 680,000 body language buddies, because you will always be my body language buddies. That is not gonna change. And of course, there are also my Royal Rogies out there. You still can roll your R. Well, remember that I could not roll my R's for the 13 or 14 first years of my life. I couldn't pronounce my own last name properly. So maybe that gives you, I was practicing around since I began to talk, maybe at 2 years old, 3 years old. I was practicing for 10 years to finally roll my R's properly. So it was me. So, there's always hope for anybody. 10 years, I'm sure that you can do it with less than in less than 10 years. So yeah, it's the Jesus Enrique Rosas channel now. Maybe many of you did not notice. Still, if you search, I already checked, if you search on YouTube for Jesus Enrique Rosas, you will get here. If you search for the Body Language Guy, you will get here. YouTube already knows what is going on, and I'm sure this is going to be the best for everybody. If everything goes well this week, this 5 shows from Monday to Friday, hosting here the Body Language Guy show on the Jesus Enrique Rosas channel, and this is going to be the home of my live show permanently. We're going to keep the numbering. Today is number 6, and well, we will be this format in this weekly show at 12 at noon EST, 12 p.m. noon EST, Monday to Friday, and sometimes we can do something on weekends. We had a record breaking for me, 4 hours and 20 minutes, something like that. Speaking, my voice was really good at the next day. It was no problem with my voice. Maybe the posters, I had to do something about my chair, maybe 4 hours sitting with only a quick bathroom break. It's quite a toll. It's sitting all the time. Maybe we could do something about that, because remember that on the day of the elections at 8 p.m. the live stream starts until we know who wins, or 12 consecutive hours, whatever is first. And well, so we are ready to begin. I need to have something in something's bothering me in my glasses. All right, so now that we are clear with this, this channel is still yours. Of course, you are the ones who make this great. Let's begin with our topics. Today we don't have an intro monologue. I apologize for that. I didn't have time to prepare, but we're going to jump in the first topic of tonight. Not tonight. Sorry, is the force of. It's been so used to the late night live streams. Jesus, please say FFS again. You know that I have a limited power in terms of that. I said at some point, and that is a problem, that I wanted to keep my channel family friendly. But again, the topics that I'm covering maybe are not that. Maybe they're not that appropriate for are not family friendly per se, because we're talking about politics and things, crazy things happening in the world. So at some point, yes, I would have to break that FFS and F word barrier every now and then. I cannot promise, that, especially when I've been like 2 or 3 hours speaking and I see Kamala Harris for the upteenth time, and she's gonna be on this Shay podcast tomorrow. That is gonna be good. It's gonna be, because that podcast runs for like 2 hours or 1 or 2 hours. And well, if everything goes according to plan, we will not have to analyze Kamala Harris for a while. Only 8 more days to go. Only 8 more days to go, and we will be free of Kamala for some time. Okay. So we're here. Let's begin with this. So the first topic of today is how awesome was the Madison Square Garden rally of Donald Trump, and all his team and all this assembly was so amazing in many ways. And we have, of course, many great pictures, but I want to talk about a couple of things that happened that night, especially all the energy, all the amazing energy that was irradiating. And well, the pictures speak for themselves. I really love this picture of the Donald with Hulk Hogan. I went, it was really, really cool when Hulk Hogan went on stage. I remember when I was a kid watching WrestleMania and all that. It was just awesome. So many memories and all the energy. And of course, well, one of the things that was repeated over and over again is that that this was going to be a meeting of Nazis, and we're going to address that in a minute. But we also needed to take into account that, well, regardless that Taylor Swift, Beyoncé, Megan Thee Stallion, Lisa, Usher, Kelly Rowland, Leonardo DiCaprio, Kerry Washington, George Clooney, and all that, the whole Hollywood enchilada, plus a $1 billion campaign and 93% positive press coverage, and Trump still is ahead in the polls. Again, you still have to go out and vote. This is very important. You have to go out and vote. The vibes. You know that when they say that this was going to be a rally of Nazis, it's interesting pictures like this, the Persian Jews. Isn't it wild that Jews can openly be Jewish at a Trump rally, while Jews at the DNC had to hide in private rooms for fear of being targeted? Yet it's Trump who is accused of being anti-Semitic. It's something that I don't understand. But that logic is not something that is easy for these people on the left. I wish it was easier. All the different names that they call Elon Musk because of his amazing great energy gelling at the start. Yes, it's awkward. We know that the guy is peak awkwardness, but well, he's doing everything he can, so well, we can have a better future, not only in the United States but globally. And I think he's doing a great job. Vivek Ramaswamy was his speech. Maybe I should dedicate just maybe 20 minutes to analyze Vivek's speech, because the guy is just amazing. But one surprise of the night, something that really surprised me. I don't know about you. I was not a Dr. Phil fan. But more and more, that he had been working with some of my friends at the behavior panel. They were for Merit Plus Media. Big shout out to the behavior panel. Great guys, amazing professionals. And they are working now with Dr. Phil. And Dr. Phil has been more and more vocal to this side, to the conservative side, to the right side of history. And all of a sudden, when he's announced, "Wow, Dr. Phil, let's listen to him," and it was an amazing speech. Well, you know that guy is a seasoned speaker in many ways. The guy is something that comes natural to him. And the way that he described how Donald Trump is not a bully, that was just amazing. And the way he crafted his it was like his point, right? It was like he was in this huge court, and he was saying, well, I'm going to make a point about Donald Trump not being the bully, and how the Democrat Party has been the bully all along. I really was really happy with this. Again, I understand that so many of you have this connection of Dr. Phil with being a bit, some disturbing topics, but I think he did the right thing. That was amazing to see. We also have, well, I'm going to paraphrase some of these words briefly, and some of you are already mentioned. Thank you for reminding me this. Thank you, Chris Fields. By the way, Oprah's protege. Oprah must be, I think he's not Oprah's protege anymore. Oprah must be fuming because, Oprah is full for Kamala. I wonder why. All those pictures of Oprah with Jeffrey Epstein, with Harvey Weinstein, with Didi, and I think I'm missing someone right now. And she basically discovered Dr. Phil. Dr. Phil just exploded in popularity. Now he has his own channel, his own media company. That is so amazing. And he said, "I'm not here just to stand up for Donald J. Trump. Lord knows he doesn't need me to stand up for him. He's tough as an all-army boot. He's got lots of enemies, different groups that are scared. And between them, they have impeached him, indicted him, raided him, railroaded him, shot him, and sued him. And where is he? He is still standing. He just keeps on because he loves this country too." This is something that many people don't understand. And Donald Trump said that. I think he said that on his speech last night, that he could be just relaxing with his millions and not going through all this, but instead he chooses to do the right thing, something that we were covering in that long live stream the other day, which when the time comes, you should do the right thing. You should do the right thing. Absolutely. Yeah, I absolutely loved every speech was amazing. I have to say that every speech was amazing. But again, that the media, we need to talk about the media and how the media was framing this in all these ways, especially how they wanted to make it seem like somehow this was, how can I put this? Well, they said it literally, that this was some kind of, Nazi gathering, not some kind, an actual Nazi gathering, and they made a point in such a way that MSNBC put images side by side. We're gonna put it right away, so you can see them with the actual Nazi rally back in 1939.
But that jamboree happening right now, you see it there on your screen, in that place is particularly chilling because in 1939, more than 20,000 supporters of a different fascist leader, Adolf Hitler, packed the garden for a so-called pro-America rally, a rally where speakers voiced anti-Semitic rhetoric from a stage draped with Nazi banners. When a Jewish protester rushed the stage, the Associated Press reported, quote, "Instantly, a dozen or more stormtroopers set upon him."
I thought about the Star Wars stormtrooper. Sorry, I cannot avoid
knocking him down and beating him as he held his head in his arms. Most of his clothing was torn from his body.
Yeah, okay, but that was back in 1939, and there was a completely different people, and so much things have happened since then.
Later, he was booked for disorderly conduct.
Okay, what does it have to do with Donald Trump and the rally at Madison Square Garden last night? Nothing, right? Nothing. This is what they do. This is what they do, like the book on
Now,
Humans says.
against that backdrop of history, Donald Trump, the man who has threatened to use the military against opponents.
He has never said that, and we already know what Kamala did. I'm not going to repeat it.
He calls enemies from within, who has threatened to
The enemies from within are the people who have been leaking plans of, in fact, Israel's attacks.
use the troops to quell what he says are lawless cities, and to use those troops to carry out mass deportations of immigrants.
Well, the mass deportations of immigrants is a real thing. That I'm going to at least one thing, one truth that it's for real. Donald Trump said that, and he means it.
Is once again turning Madison Square Garden into a staging ground for extremism.
Yeah, you know, this is how the media is reacting in the way that you could expect to react. But not everything is lost. Thanks to Michelle Maxwell, we have this. So many Nazis at Trump's rally today, they are taking over the country. Be afraid, be very afraid, people. And we have this group of very dangerous Nazis.
Hey, we heard that Nazis were supposed to be here. That's what Hillary Clinton said. So we out here to see. Have you seen a Nazi today?
We are the Nazi party.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yo,
I'm white though.
I'm the Nazi right here. Yes.
Yeah.
Dominican Nazi. Dominican.
Dominican Nazi. This is like the remake. This is the Latino remake of Springtime for Hitler from the producers. Absolutely.
Nazi.
Latina
Nazi. We got.
Oh, I'm the black Nazi.
Black
Yeah.
Nazi.
The biggest blackest Nazi you ever seen in your life.
I'm the Jewish Nazi. The Jewish Nazi. Hey, listen, I'm the cool Nazi. I'm the white Nazi. I'm Mr. Cool himself. He out here, baby.
He's the white Nazi.
This is so cool. This is so cool. This is the best way to get back at those people. It was just.
White Nazi.
We are all united here to make Donald J. Trump the 47th president of the United States. Woo!
Stop listening to the media, bro.
Yeah, stop listening to the media. We are the new media, by the way. We are the new media. We're going to be talking about that in a minute. But this meme from Elon Musk sums it up very well. If he's Hitler, why didn't he do Hitler things his first term? Why didn't he do Hitler things before? Nobody can answer that. Oh, maybe he forgot that he was Hitler. He bumped his head the day of the inauguration back in 2017. And then, well, he just forgot. Oh, I forgot that I was going to be a dictator for some reason. And, well, something that I don't know if I can play here. I hope that I can play at least one part. I don't want any copyright strike. The other day we had a copyright thing because talking about Metallica, just that 5 seconds in a 4-hour live stream, those 5 seconds, it was an instant copyright claim. You know that, Lars, please. Yeah. I'm trying to help you, bro. I'm keeping you relevant. Give me a break. Well, Christina, New York City. What better song than New York to close out the rally performed by the great tenor Chris Macchio. And I'm going to play just the last part. I think that maybe it's no problem. I'm gonna do it till the end. This was my favorite part. It was just amazing, I don't think I can play many more of that song. I really wish that I was there last night. I really had this huge missing out sensation. In fact, New York is one of my favorite songs just because of one verse that is so powerful when it says, if I can make it there, I will make it anywhere. Something that I have always attracted me about that city. Maybe someday I will make it in New York, and you, my body language bodies, you will be there as well. I know. Maybe someday I have to, do the full Tony Robbins stuff and focus on that. Let me see what else we got here. So many things. Even New York City Mayor Eric Adams says Donald Trump is not a fascist. Eric Adams doing the right thing, defending the Republican again. That was awesome. That was great to know. We still don't know what's going to happen to Mayor Adams. We'll be following very, very closely. And this is, a way to spot the hypocrisy of the left. Thanks to J.E. May, Duchess Marmalade. That's a photo of Bill Clinton at his rally at Madison Square Garden in July 1992. Somehow, that was okay. But somehow, if Trump holds a rally at that iconic stadium in New York City, the legacy media, specifically MSNBC, along with Hillary Clinton, who was at that rally at that time, and then another time that I really forgot, it's 2 times she has been there, are showing video clips of a Nazi rally at the Garden in February 1939 and equating Trump's rally to that. It is beyond outrageous. It is manipulation of the worst, most malevolent sort. The Madison Square Garden has been the site of many political events over the last 85 years. Only Trump is being compared to Nazis for choosing that side. Hypocrisy is too mild a word. It is evil and malevolent and intended to mislead and deceive the public. And of course, we got the usual pundits with their, their very predictable physiognomy saying this kind of things. This is, thanks to MOAR, this is how professional liar Susan Rice described Trump at the MSG rally. Sexist, pro-dictator, dangerous, 1939, divisive, dark, evil, pro-Nazi, hateful, retro, whatever.
They're terrified of, effective, smart, strong women and leaders in the United States. Secondly, they embrace and laud and praise dictators like Xi and Putin, with whom they want to become closer.
Trump hasn't said that he admires them. He just says that they are brilliant. And as I've told you many times in my own live streams, maybe not talking about Putin, maybe not talking about, you have to separate some characteristics from your judgment of the person. Maybe you can say, okay, this is a villain. Maybe a villain is really smart, and you need to acknowledge that the villain is very smart, so you can outsmart him. Oh no, you cannot say someone who is evil is smart. Why not? What are you afraid of? You have to acknowledge that. You have to realize that, because if you want to neutralize any kind of threat, then you have to measure or assess the threat in this case. So it's no problem saying that someone is brilliant, someone is like saying, it's like when you say that Hitler was a great public speaker, which is undeniable, then you will always get someone who says, oh, what is the source? How do you know that he was a great public speaker? And you say, okay, you are judging the person, you're judging the character. I understand. You don't like Hitler. We agree with that one. But you can, maybe acknowledge the fact that one of the reasons that he amassed so much, power and influence, it was because of his progress with public speaking. Oh no, you cannot say that. No, it's not that I'm judging something. It is a fact, right? So people get triggered by that kind of things, and that is low IQ. That is no other way of saying. That is Uh, well, low
They
IQ.
are our most formidable adversaries. These people are dangerous. Donald Trump hugs dictators. He's about to have a rally reminiscent of 1939, cheering on Nazi Germany.
Whatever. Well, at the same time, I just realized that I've told you that you can always learn something from someone, no matter who they are. And I just learned how to say the word. Well, let's see.
These people are dangerous. Donald Trump hugs dictators. He's about to have a rally.
She said a word was interesting.
They are our most formidable.
Formidable. I didn't know how to pronounce that word. Now I know. Thank you, you Trump derangement syndrome terminally ill lady. Formidable. I have never pronounced that, but now I know. And well, they went all the way to project on the Madison Square Garden the worst Trump praised Hitler, which he has never done. But you know how they want to just to push the Atlantic thing, which is the only thing they've got. I am going to talk, by the way, about that Puerto Rico joke in a minute. I'm going to address it in detail, but that's going to be in a minute. We need to talk about a couple things before, and just make sure that you download my free 100 body language tips in the description of this video. Yes, I'm still the body language guy, and you can get subscribed. You can be subscribed to my email list if you download my tips, and I will be able to send you emails directly about whatever is going on, and if anything happens, we will be able to stay in contact through email. So go and download my free 100 body language tips in the description of this video. So, we're going to continue. We're going to right away with another topic that is, let's say that it's really fun. We're going to be talking about how Kamala has been heckled. We're going to be talking about a couple more topics, but this is something that where are we? Okay, I'm sorry. This is something that we need to talk about right now. And it's the concept of bait and switch. Bait and switch. There's a joke, by the way. I need to make this joke. I don't know how many New Yorkers are watching me right now. I hope that... I'm sure that there are plenty of New Yorkers, because New York, if I remember correctly, I've said this many times, I think the first... or the city where I have a more body language bodies is Sydney. Have more viewers. Strange, right? That's all. Or it's Sydney or London. London, I have. Well, that is just amazing. Love this. What a beautiful city. I hope the UK recovers from all this that they are going through. That's a topic for a very long live stream. I should be talking about the UK soon. And New York is another city where I have a lot of friends there. Not only people that I know personally, but my lovely body language buddies. Yeah, it's I think it's the third city in the world. So if I visit New York, I will be really we will be really busy getting to know each other. Maybe we can organize something like there, tequeños, arepas, something like that. That would be great. But I need to apologize. I wanted to say I need to apologize to my New Yorker body language buddies, to my New Yorker friends, because every time I see the letters MSG, this is what I think about. This is what I think about when I see the letters MSG, monosodium glutamate. I'm sorry. I'm more like I'm a nerd, but not much of a sports, but in more than things like this, Ahinomoto and that stuff. It's MSG. I said Trump MSG. I began to read like 1 week ago Trump MSG, and I said, what is this? What has to do oh, maybe that has to do with MAHA, right? Make America healthy again. Maybe not add all this stuff to umami, right? Is the name of this, to make food more addicting, to make the flavor so addicting. No. It's in Madison Square Garden, you absolute prick, ignorant. So, yes. Oh, so many of you are, I am not alone. I thank you for letting me know. That is great. That's why it's so great to keep an eye on your comments. MSG, Madison Square Garden, monosodium glutamate, and it's not something that can happen. A Hinomoto. Oh my God, a Hinomoto. But let's talk about this topic right now. This topic is about the bait and switch of Kamala Harris and Beyonce. What is a bait and switch? When you tell people that you're going to do something, but at the last minute you essentially do another thing and dupe them. You fool people. MSNBC treated this, the appearance of Beyonce at Kamala Harris rally, as breaking news when the Harris campaign announced that Beyonce would appear and perform at a rally in Texas. The pop star did appear, but only spoke and did not sing. And I said, why? It would have been so easy to just bring an acoustic guitar and sing for 2 minutes.
We have some big news to share for the Harris campaign and the Beehive. None other than Beyonce will appear with Vice President Harris tomorrow in Texas, we're learning, and NBC's Aaron Gilchrist is covering the Harris campaign today from Georgia, where she's set to appear with Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah, you say Beyonce, Bruce Springsteen. Oh, right, that must be a performance, right? But to be fair, they haven't said the word performance. Yeah, that is important. Words are important. What did people say? How did people really mislead the public?
Aaron, the boss today, Queen Bee tomorrow. What more do we know?
This is news that a lot of people have been waiting to hear, whether or how Beyonce might show her support for Vice President Harris. And we have learned from 3 sources our team has that Beyonce will appear with Vice President.
Okay, notice what happens. He says she will appear. Okay, I don't know which words are going to use later. But he says appear, and you see a picture of Beyonce performing. That's something that is, misleading, because instantly you use the images to complement what you're listening to, what you're hearing. And you see this, you assume, all right, so Beyonce is actually going to perform a free Beyonce concert. Oh, that is great. That is more than the Instagram post that Taylor Swift offered. Nice.
Harris tomorrow in Houston, Texas, and the source says that Beyonce will perform.
He said that. Beyonce will perform. Man, you go to jail. You said it. The
source says that Beyonce will perform during that appearance in Texas, obviously where she's from.
All right, obviously where she's from. Of course, because, she's from Texas. You expect that one of the greatest artists from Texas is going to perform, showing her support for the next black woman, Indian, I don't know, everything else, McDonald's employee of the year, Kamala Harris. It's obvious. Everybody expected it. But no. Well, USA Today, watch live. Beyonce returns to hometown of Houston to perform at Kamala Harris rally. Oh my goodness. And what do we have here? MSNBC, Beyonce expected to perform. Vanity Fair, Beyonce expected to perform. Politico. Politico doesn't say, or at least the headline. Huffington Post, Beyonce set to perform. Oh my God. CNN, I don't know what CNN says, but you already know how it went. And there's a nice insight by New Rebel Records. Now, assuming the plan never meant to include a performance, how did the media get it so wrong? There are three possibilities. Number one, they just assumed it would. Number two, they were misled by the campaign to believe it would. And number three, they coordinated with the campaign to mislead the public. The problem that I have with number one, which is very dangerous because, well, assuming that a star is going to sing, have a performance for Kamala, it's risky. No matter how much you support Kamala Harris, no matter how connected to the establishment you are, you have to be careful with that kind of assumptions. Number three, they coordinated with the campaign to mislead the public. It's the same. If you know that, how to say this, that ultimately the public is gonna be duped, right? Then I don't think that they would agree, because that would be a credibility hit for those outlets. Again, no matter how much do you like Kamala, taking those credibility hits is gonna be really, really. The word is damaging to their reputation, whatever reputation the mainstream media has left. But number two, they were misled by the campaign to believe it would. This is how do you have there's options, because these are the only three options possible, or at least the most simple three options. And you see that number two, they were misled by the campaign to believe it would. That's another thing. Maybe someone did not issue a press release. Having things in print is what's you have proof that Kamala's camp in print said that Beyoncé was set to perform. But if you just tell someone via a telephone call, oh yeah, she's going to perform, you can, okay, you're telling me that she's performing, and by voice, by the telephone call that is not being recorded, well, anything goes. Anything goes. I wasn't surprised that was what happened. And well, how can I frame this? Tom Elliott on X shared this supercut. Corporate media helped spread the DNC's Beyoncé disinformation. Again, you have to understand that they did this to make an amazing rally at Texas with a lot of people, all right? Why? Because Donald Trump that very day was going to be on the Joe Rogan podcast, and they needed to overshadow him. That's when the royal family does something, and Meghan and Harry have to do something the very same day. That is pretty much it. That is incredible. You see the exact analogy of behavior, something expected. And well, this is how the media reported on all
There
that.
are rumors that Beyonce might make an appearance. I personally think that that's true, but we shall see.
We're going to say this now. Can I say this?
Well, wait, let's couch it in rumors and rumbling.
Okay, let's just say, that's out there, the Beyonce talk.
You have to stay tuned, but I have it on really good word. The Beehive is buzzing right now because the preparation for the Beehive.
And notice that you have the Beyoncé performance tonight with a question mark, but this says Beyoncé performance. People maybe don't read the question mark.
It has to start early. Sources come from backstage. That's all I'll tell you.
Okay.
TMZ and The Hill reporting that she will indeed be making a surprise performance on stage here.
Congressman was just dancing along, and he's excited that he's hearing rumors, which a donor confirmed to me that she's also hearing that Beyonce is en route.
President of all things music and fashion and style, i.e. Beyonce, is going to show up. Queen Bey.
Surprise guest tonight. Beyonce?
I know Beyonce's got to be in town, right? My gosh, is that what we're in for? A Beyonce show tonight?
There are rumors.
Is this amazing? It's oh my God, so many clips of this. It's like you have just one message and how it is amplified. And by the way, I don't have the graph because I miss it. It has to be somewhere. But you see the graph of how many times Donald Trump has been called Hitler, and in the last week has been more than 5,000 pieces of articles and news headlines and everything, putting Trump and Hitler on the headline. It's something just baffling, more than ever, more than like the past 2 years combined. Something that's it's an exaggeration. It's the Hail Mary of for the Democratic Party.
That Beyonce may be there this evening.
We may see Beyonce.
Is the United Center going to be turning into the Beehive tonight? Earlier today, we spoke with Christy George, the executive director of the DNC host committee.
And this is really cruel. This is really cruel because I know what it is to be a real fan of a band or a celebrity. Yeah, you think every single one of us knows that. They say, "Oh my God, is she's going to be there for free? No, I'm going to do whatever it takes to be there. There's gonna be a free Beyonce concert." It is reported that Beyonce is speaking for 4 minutes. I have not confirmed this. I think nobody has confirmed this. That cost Kamala Harris $10 million. I want that level of dosh, by the way. $10 million for speaking 4 minutes, allegedly. I want that in my life, dear Lord. I see what you do for other people. I want that in my life. I want that.
Holding out hope for Beyonce.
Is that going to happen?
I don't know,
Everybody's
but that's what I
whispering
want.
about it around here. I know. I thought you would have the insider tip on that.
I'm hoping. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. They're keeping it very close to the vest.
Of course, like everyone else, we're hoping that Beyonce makes an appearance.
There could be a surprise performance from Beyonce.
Is that a Beyonce song playing right now? And is that telling us something possibly? Breaking news.
It's like teasing. It's a teasing what makes people, have this, oh, this is gonna be great. And that's why you saw that disorder then that we cover in a format analysis. It was just evil.
The rumor has it Beyonce may be performing. Someone's doing a warm-up with her song. I'm just saying, Rachel, two pretty powerful black women up on the stage together.
We'll see if we get Beyonce.
10 million are powerful for 4 minutes.
And Beyonce or no Beyonce?
I'm guessing she's here.
We're hearing rumors about Beyonce. I tried to get Senator Booker to give me the tea on that, but
Yeah, of course. Oh my God. I think the outlet that did this is Gravian, by the way. I don't know what it's Gravian, but they did a great job with that. Whatever they are, follow them because it's worth it. They did a great supercut. But we need to make some kind of comparison, and this is what happens when President Trump comes to town. No concert needed. This was shared by Rapid Sloth on X, and well, you can see that there's a significant difference, right? A massive amount of people. No Beyonce needed, not at all. And yes, it's like that, the Madison Square Garden. And we got the insights of one lady who wants to tell Beyonce a couple of things about, her not appearance on Kamala. It's not that she's complaining that she did not appear. No, it's about Beyonce herself.
This message is for Beyonce.
Let me pop up the volume.
Beyonce, we don't give a damn about you. We don't give a damn about how many speeches you read from a teleprompter, how many rituals you do, or what kind of voodoo you do. Texas will forever be a red state. It will forever be a red state and will always be a red state. I don't give a fuck what you do. And for you to come out here and try to finesse the black vote for a politician who don't even have no plans for your community goes to show us how much you care about your own people. What you need to be worried about is P. Diddy. What you need to be worried about is Jeff Epstein. What you need to be worried about is Jaguar Wright. What you need to be worried about is Aaliyah. What you need to be worried about is God. And you need to repent and not worry about where our vote is going. We don't care about you, Beyonce. Bye, Beyonce. Because you got God's answer too.
That was so powerful in many ways, and yeah, well deserved. I have another topic in here. We're gonna be talking. Oh my God, I deleted everything. Let's talk about the other topic that we were talking about. Kamala being heckled. But just in case you haven't done so, remember to download my 100 body language tips in the description of this video. You will be subscribed to my email list as well. That would be just awesome, so I can just be in contact with you via email. That's it. Let's jump right in with the next topic, in which things are not going well for Kamala Harris. Just yeah, I'm reading up your comments. Yeah, I want that in my life. I need to manifest. I need to manifest those. That's in my headshot. I want to manifest those 10 million, and it would be 2.5 million per minute. But not bad. It's not bad. It's nice money. It's good money. Yeah, but you have to be Beyonce. Who knows where Beyonce has been? And you know those parties and those rituals and those groves and those caves and those whose basement she had to sell her soul to the devil. No. I prefer to have my soul intact. Thank you. I'm fine. I'm fine. Maybe I can have a fraction of that. Remember that I'm happy with my market sushi at the park. Bye. Yeah, very great speech. Well, let's move on. Let's talk about Kamala Harris. Well, Kamala Harris is not having a great week, and if everything goes well, we will not have to see videos of Kamala Harris in a while, like let's say 8 more days. But this one is worth it. I promise that this one is gonna be worth it. Shared by 9mm SMG. Things are going well for Kamala with a touch of sarcasm.
We are fighting for America's future. And we understand the opportunity we have before us to turn the page on the fear
Okay, this is the thing. She was talking about her usual, drivel, whatever she speaks. I have grown desensitized to whatever she says. It's disheartening at some point, but at least we got these examples in which someone began shouting, "No more wars, no more wars," and we see that throughout the Biden-Harris administration. We've had more and more wars and more escalation of conflict because, the warmongers are making bank with everything that is going on in the world. Something that should be, the United States should do what the United States does best, especially during Donald Trump's first term, in which, there were no wars. That should be it. But no, that is not profitable for the warmongers. And then this man began heckling Kamala. Well-deserved heckling.
Future. And we understand the opportunity we have before us.
I am not endorsing this. I am not, attacking people personally, because shouting "no more wars" is one thing. I agree with that. You can heckle someone like that. But calling them POS, maybe you're entering the ad hominem territory, which I don't know. It's maybe not the right thing to do. But again, maybe the guy couldn't contain himself. He went for it. But this is the kind of things you already saw what happened at the rally in Texas, in which had all these disruptions, and she couldn't react to that. It couldn't be controlled. Happened so many things. And now, she's trying to deal with the public. Deal is, a loose word, because right now we also have this new Kamala accent drops. something that it could be funny if you're a comedian and you can make many accents. That is fine, but it's not very useful if you are a politician, and especially if you are in such a high stakes election. New Kamala accent drops at a black Philadelphia church. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. I listened to this. And I'm sorry, my body language buddies. You have to go through this as well. If I did, you will suffer too.
Weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. The path may seem hard, the work may seem heavy, but joy cometh in the morning, and church morning is on its way.
I'm going to tell you, for 1 second, I thought I was at Meghan Markle's wedding. You know, the third one, that wedding. You know what I'm talking about. You know, many of you are in the joke. But why? I mean, why would you talk like this? I don't know. Well, maybe she wants to put out her charismatic side. Maybe Kamala. I'm going to be serious for one second. Maybe Kamala had this ability to imitate accents, to change accents and do the stuff and laugh the way she does. Maybe her career was not being a prosecutor, which, by the way, hasn't been really confirmed. No, it has been confirmed. What we don't know is how she ended up in Washington, especially at the White House, and how is she possibly the next president of the United States. There's still a possibility. Even Donald Trump said that on his speech. And so that's why you have to go out and vote. But how does this happen? It's like maybe she could have been an entertainer, and that would have been a better career for her if she knows how to laugh. Like, can you imagine Kamala Harris on Saturday Night Live? Maybe that would have been a good fit. Maybe, one does those experiments like a time machine that you go back in time and you move something, and in the current timeline, Kamala is like Kristen Wiig or something like that. Maybe she could have done a good career on Saturday Night Live. Why not? There are people that are very successful there. So, well, no, we got, and maybe in that universe, she's successful, and when that universe, they find out that in this timeline, this path, this fork in the space-time continuum, she's about to become president of the United States, then they would say, yeah, these people are really effed up. These people are really effed up. I mean, it's great that we have the Saturday Night Live version of her, but, well, we got the... There's a possibility Kamala Harris, POTUS president of the United States. I don't know. I'm saying this. I still have high hopes that Donald Trump is going to win for all that we see in the polls, for the vibe in the street, for everything. I think it was Fetterman that was saying something like that. But, well, talking about polls, Trump War Room, Kamala, my internal polling is my instinct. Ha, ha, ha. It's like I have a machine gun. Ha, ha, ha.
Can you give us a sense of your internal polling at the campaign and how that is making or influencing your decisions on what to do over the next 9 days?
So, to be very frank with you, my internal polling is my instinct. I let the campaign people deal with all that other stuff.
Yeah, can you imagine? Yeah, that's a Saturday Night Live material. That would have been great. That would have been really, appropriate. And in this bizarre space-time continuum, we see that some people really want to, alter our perception of reality. You were talking about quantum physics right here. All Russian, thanks for sharing this. I know that many other people have shared, but there was this picture of an alleged Kamala Harris, a young Kamala Harris with her McDonald's uniform and stuff, ready to go to work. Oh, that is nice. So that disproves, I said that maybe at some point you will get one picture with, those tiny cameras or film camera back then with your uniform. You have some sort of proof that you work at McDonald's. And that is possible. That should be possible. Maybe the records are hard to find. And they said, all right, but then, this is the internet. This is the internet, and there are many people that have so much more time, much more spare time than yours truly, and they made sure to look for the real woman, and this is the real woman. I don't know her name, all right? And, it just so happens that the original picture of the real woman has passed away, but to make things even creepier. Again, there's so many things, so many things that we can doubt in this era, that you need solid proof. When you're gonna make claims, you need solid proof. And one of the claims, one of the claims that people say about Kamala is that there's a word. I have been, expanding my English vocabulary, and I remember that Alexander Juan Antonio Cortez, big shout out to AJAC on X, great fitness expert, all around fitness expert. He used the word lush, L-U-S-H, and I say, what? I have never, I had seen that word when we are talking about hair, when you have a lush hair, all right, but hadn't read that word as referring to a person. What does lush mean? And so those are, the rumors that are going around about why does Kamala Harris act in some ways. And Alexander's, the word that he used illustrated the point of many people. Kamala Harris is at a bar pretending to have a beer with Gretchen Whitmer. I just died from cringe. This was from Ann Wogness on X.
Aren't you kind of more of a wine person?
This is like Tim Walz and Doug Emhoff. You're having they were having a cappuccino. It was Tim Walz and Doug Emhoff. We're having a cappuccino, and Kamala is having a beer. I'm gonna sound sexist, but that sounds like odd, right? Why can't everybody have a beer? What is the problem with that? Again, Kamala Harris having a beer, that doesn't work. That doesn't work very well. But it's not that I'm complaining, of course.
What are you having, Madam Vice President?
I am having what she's having.
It's an Oberon, and it's made right here in Kalamazoo, which many are calling Kamalazoo. Cheers.
All right, this is absolutely, especially, we noticed that the cameraman, it's already tipsy. That's why you see it moving so all over the place. I wanted to use that word, tipsy. It's a nice word.
Cheers.
Great rally.
Good. And
let's have a conversation. We needed a zoom out or something like that, and we needed a say like Shaun of the Dead, like zooming out. I forgot the name of the Cornetto trilogy director. Oh my God, I always forget his name. I don't know why that happens. You remember the director of Hot Fuzz, Shaun of the Dead? I forgot his name. Baby Driver. I know all this. I love all his movies. I always forget his name. I don't know, for some reason. But yes, this is what we are dealing with. This is what we are dealing with. Respecting for your answer, keeping an eye on your comments. Another brown suit. No, Simon Pegg is the actor. I need the name of the director. Why I always forget his name. I love his movies. I love his style of direction. Edgar Wright. I always forget his name for some reason. Thank you, Greg. Greg McHenry had the right answer. Edgar Wright. Yeah. I needed that zoom out of that and into the street and, with music and all that stuff. It would be so nice to get away from Kamala. 8 days. And tomorrow is gonna be like The Ring. 7 days. And if everything goes well, we won't have to analyze Kamala in a while. We still have to deal with things like this. Liberal woman starts screaming at a baby, prompting a Kamala Harris supporter to intervene and pull her away. This was like a Renaissance painting. I don't know how this happens, but it just happened. So much joy. The incident happened outside of Harris' Houston rally. Oh, right, that was the rally with Beyonce. People were triggered because of that. I'm going to lower the volume because I don't want to hear this lady. Yeah, people are talking. People are saying many things. I mean, as in, the child was in her. This is a kind of a stroller, right? Okay, she was there. You can imagine that everyone there is. I don't know if he was trying to go past them or something like that. And you see that the trigger lady is way behind. Okay, and we see frame by frame. Let's mute this. I don't want to hear her screaming. She walks in. He's got like a microphone. Why does he have like a microphone? Why does the guy have a microphone? I don't know. But then the other lady, you see that she is like locked in. She is like locked in the guy. I'm going to F you up. I'm going to F up your day and your daughter. I don't care. I need to make myself heard in some way. And there she goes. She looks at the child. I mean, what's wrong with these people? She looks at the child and then, oh, right. Look at this. This is how you see in terms of the eyes. The eyes signal intention. She looks at him. You know that she is looked into him. Then she looks at the child. All right? And then maybe she realizes, oh, this is the weak spot. This is this guy's weak spot. And then she is going to shout from there. She opens her mouth. But oh, I have a better idea. I'm going to step in right in front of the child, right in front of the girl, and I'm going to shout to her face. Who does this? I'm going to step like this. What does she have in her hand? What is this? It's like some kind of handbag. It's like some kind of handbag. And she goes and she leans in and begins screaming at her. And why would you do that? And of course, the dad was maybe not of course, but he had turned away. Maybe who could be aware that someone's gonna do that? Who can think that someone's gonna be so unhinged of doing such a thing? She begins to shout something to the girl, of course, and then you see the lady's reaction. Well, especially this lady here notices what's going on, and you see that this woman is really unhinged, not only because the rictus of her face, even in that in that low quality video, you can see that she is really unhinged. And yeah, those ligaments on the neck is also tense. The neck's really tense. This lady is really triggered. I wouldn't be surprised that she could have hit the girl. Easily, she could have hit the girl. Notice the vein. It's not the vein. It's like, or maybe it's the vein. It's the vein. You see it, how it moves, how it's so tense, and the father, all that he can do is try to get himself in between the lady and, I assume that it's his daughter, and he gets her to make sure to get her to safety. But what kind of paranoia or something is this? I mean, we're talking about a zombie apocalypse. They could call the Republican Party Nazis, but they act like zombies, like mindless zombies, like violence. Well, not every one of them. You see that this lady has to be commanded in some way, because she reacts and she grabs the unhinged woman and she puts them away. What are you doing? What are you doing? And you say, yeah, you see that he is reprimanding her like that is not the way. What's wrong with you? And she does a gesture with her hand, by the way. It's like, cut it. Yeah, cut it. Calm down. Calm down. Calm down, white sister. Calm, shady sister. Calm down. What is that? This is the kind of things. You have any explanation for that? I don't have an explanation for that. Some people are just unhinged, and especially in all this. Look at this. How she is. She's still like taunting people. How do you see that she's taunting? Look at her chin. How she raises it. She does this. She points with her chin. There it goes. That chin point. This. Okay. In some instances, you can use that gesture to greet someone. It's very common with a man. You use it. Hey, that movement with your head up. You can greet a man or between men like that. But it can also be an aggressive gesture when you point at someone with your chin, like a bit of arrogance, a bit of taunting. I don't know. But these people are at a boiling point, and she keeps yelling at the dad. I hadn't seen this part of the video. She keeps yelling at him. Well, the lady at the back is also telling the dad something. I think that maybe the guy was not pro Kamala, maybe. But if you're not pro Kamala and you're going to be, trigger people at a Kamala rally, then why are you going to bring a child? Why bring a child with you? That is a bit of irresponsible. It's a bit of crazy. I have yes, the Megan chin. Yeah, it's absolutely insane. Wait a second. That I have for my back here to be able to sit upright. I have a cushion here. Just fell. He said, "Why am I feeling like I'm in the air?" Okay, it's gonna be much better. Privileged white girl. Why is she screaming at the girl? We don't know. We really don't know why was she screaming at the girl. We only know that it was happening. And we have a couple more topics today. Something really, really strange. Let me see the couple topics that we have. Okay. want to talk about this as well. Just keep an eye on your comments. All right, then we have a tip here. Someone answered that. I'm going to look for your comment. Okay, Lady Cat Driver. He was talking about God and Jesus. She just asked him, "Why did you bring her here?" Yeah, well, it's I would go by myself. I would not bring my children to a rally. In fact, even if it was a rally I support, I would be very wary if there's going to be actual security, because for anything that happens, like, children are not the best idea at a rally with tons of people. And it is also the way that the narrative of the Democrats, that everyone who is against them is a Nazi, is a criminal, is a rapist, is all this. At some point of listening that so all day long, that's gonna break you. That's gonna drive you insane. There's no other way that's gonna happen. No, I seriously doubt that the man will be a Kamala supporter. I don't think he was a Kamala supporter. Oh, she was arrested. Thank you, CW. I didn't know that she was arrested. Yeah, well, let's talk about another topic. Let's try to talk about this other topic, which is a bit lighter of a topic. But let's talk about Baron Trump. And Baron Trump was trending because of one reason. He was trending for one reason. Trump said, "Baron is watching. He's the king of the internet." Why Baron Trump is the king of the internet? We're gonna find out. It's reportedly he has been advising his father Donald podcast strategy, where to appear. You remember that podcast with Aiden Ross, which Aiden arrived with a Cybertruck, and then he gave Donald. Was just amazing. Let's watch this clip to see the Donald saying it himself, and we're gonna be watching a clip from the Joe Rogan show. It's muted, sorry.
And my children here, Don and Eric and Tiffany, and along with Lara, Kimberly and Michael, we have great people. We have Baron home, he's watching. That Baron is watching. He's the king of the internet. He's the king of the internet. Oh, who was that? That's very nice.
And what does it mean being the king of the internet? Well, for starters, of course, everybody on the internet wanted Joe Rogan to interview Donald Trump. They say, "Oh, but Joe Rogan is so boring." I had never seen a full Joe Rogan podcast. I've said I personally don't like podcasts. I find them boring in general. I don't watch them, so that most probably I wouldn't have an interview in format. I don't know, maybe at some point I could nail it, but those would last for 1 hour. Never say never, never say never. But at this point, I really don't have time to sit for 3 hours, even at 1.5x listening to something. But it is undeniable that Donald Trump on Joe Rogan was a massive success. Thanks to Nabil Aziz, we have these numbers, 30 million views. 30 million views. More views than the Super Bowl halftime show, more views than the NBA Finals, more views than the Oscars, and more views than the Grammys. I mean, we're talking We're talking about the new media. We are the new media. I've told you that I want to be part of that new media. I have 2 million viewers net, 2 million viewers net monthly. All right, so I have quite an audience. I know that right now 75% of that is exclusively United States. I've been covering so much of the elections in the last month. 75, roughly 1.5 million of my audience are my friends on the United States. That's why I tell you that I have 1 million friends in the United States. So it's not 1 million, it's 1.5 million. It's quite a lot. And yes, a lot of them are in New York. The Blaze. Trump tells Rogan about Barron helping him with podcasts and independent media. So I have a son, he's very smart and tall, Barron. He knows all about you, he knows about guys I've never heard of, and I've gone up 30 points with young people. And that is just amazing. That is such a huge chunk of the population.
So I have a son who's very smart and tall, Barron, right? And he knows all about you. He knows about guys I never heard of. He said, Dad, you don't know how big they are. They're big. You know, he told me how big. I said, who the hell is he? Like Ross. I did. He said, Dad, he's a great
Eddie
guy.
Ross.
I mean, guys that are doing, it's a whole new world out there.
Yeah, this is something that one fails to realize. I cannot keep up with all the streamers out there, the young streamers. I guess that, of course, these platforms usually is like limit what we are interested in. It's like once the algorithm like figures out what we like, then it's harder for the algorithm to include something new or something out of maybe out of our interests. Or maybe if I watch Adding Ross, maybe I would get bored, and the algorithm knows more than me. That's something that I'm sure about, because, for example, the YouTube algorithm is which is the robot, so to speak, which picks what to recommend you. He's very good. In fact, it's not only one algorithm. The YouTube algorithm is made of 4 of them. It is very good at guessing what would you like to keep watching, or what do you want to watch next, or what pops up in your homepage. But in this case, it's funny that finally they could nail the Joe Rogan. I really hope that Kamala, we still have time for this Friday to have Kamala on Joe Rogan. Please make it happen. I'm willing to do it. I'm willing to do the 8-hour body language
It's
analysis.
a different world. And
but, you know, I'm on TikTok now.
Congratulations.
And I've done really well. No, but you know the crazy, have you seen the numbers? Billions of hits. It's crazy.
I'm sure. TikTok's a wild application.
And I've gone up 30 points. A Republican is always down 30 with young people. I'm plus 30.
But not every Republican, Mr. Trump, not every Republican. You remember that when Donald Trump told Joe Rogan, I don't know why this has been this phenomenon. I'm so good at marketing, and Joe Rogan says, I have a very good idea. I can tell you right now why is that. And Trump says, what is it? And Rogan says, you say some pretty wild shit, and everyone cracks. It's just amazing, because it's true. It cannot work with anybody, Republican or Democrat. You have to say the wild stuff. You have to say things unfiltered. You have to say that they eating the dogs and eating the cats, and people come edit that. And TikTok is going to take care of the rest. It's going to happen. That's going to happen. No, Kamala doesn't have that risk. Kamala, maybe Saturday Night Live Kamala, she would have that, but no, she doesn't have it.
And I'm on TikTok.
I think
it's had a huge impact.
Young people are rejecting a lot of this woke bullshit.
Yeah,
young people are tired of being yelled at and scolded. They're tired of these people that they think are mentally ill telling them what the moral standards of society should be today. And people.
Yeah, we're pretty much tired of that, and that's one of the reasons I finally said I need to do something about that, say something about what's happening, because we cannot stand any longer this mental illness that is spreading over the world. And it's infecting the Western world, not only the woke mind virus, but also the suicidal empathy. I think Gad Saad is writing a book on that topic, suicidal empathy, which is, the death of the Western world if it keeps growing. I think it was Konstantin Kisin, which is one of my favorite content creators, by the way. He has this interviewing channel called Triggernometry. He's a solid interviewer, has some amazing interviews. I don't know, I missed. This Konstantin Kisin said on X, whisper it quietly, but we are past peak woke. Institutions are still riddled with it, and it will take years to turn the tanker around and travel in a sensible direction, but the turn has happened. Well, maybe I hope that he's right. I quote tweeted him, put in, amen. I hope that it happens.
People are upset.
There's a big difference now, but even in just a couple of years, I was shaking hands with people. They're young people.
The rebels are Republicans now. They're like, you want to be a rebel, you want to be punk rock, you want to buck the system.
Yeah, we are the rebels right now. I myself with my three-piece suit, I'm the counterculture right now. Like, I'm against the status quo. I'm against everything that something that is just crazy. What these people are trying to do, what they are trying to impose. And I always do the same. When someone comes to me on X, and they say, oh, I'm voting for Kamala Harris because, Trump is the party of hate and stuff. I just ask them one simple question. Well, okay, right, fine by me. But just answer this simple question. What is a woman? Oh, they get triggered. Oh, you are all for Kamala. Are you okay with men in women's sports? Oh, well, stop saying that. Stop saying nonsense. Donald Trump this, Donald Trump that. All right. So you're in favor or pro gender reassignment surgeries for children without parent consent. They begin to they don't have an answer to that. And this is this is the thing that we should be doing. This is the thing that should be imposed. We should be silencing social media. And that's when I realized that it's so important. It's so important what happened with X or Twitter. What happened with Elon Musk buying X? And I'm gonna give you this example. I'm gonna go directly to my X account, by the way, and I'm going to give you this example. No, this is not. We're going to talk about that topic in a minute. We will be talking about this. Elon buying Twitter literally made a huge fork in the path of humanity. So much of what we are experiencing is because we've got an unfiltered channel to pass information on a global scale. We literally jumped into a completely different universe because of that. Quantum leap. That was a quantum leap. We switched to a different universe just because Elon Musk bought Twitter, transform it to X, which, we still have a hard time trying to, Xing the stuff, but, not complaining because at least we have a completely free channel. So many of you have reached out to me. Yeah, but he's still silencing people. He hasn't silenced me, and I'm saying things as they are. You have to be, even on X, you have to be smart. You know how to play the game, right? Sometimes you have to say things in a covert manner, in a way that doesn't get into trouble afterwards. Remember, Ben settles wars. He said that he abides by the philosophy that everything he tweets, everything he sends by email, everything that he shares online, he imagines that at some point he's going to be at a court of law, sitting in the witness stand, and in a huge screen whatever he published, whatever tweet or email he sent is going to be put out there for everybody to see. Will you be okay with that? Will you stand for what you said at that point with that you're about to tweet before you send the tweet? You hit the send tweet. Are you okay with that? Then let's do this. Let's go ahead and tweet it. If not, well, think twice. That is important. And that includes jokes, right? And there's a joke about Puerto Rico that we need to talk about. Yeah, Matt Walsh is awesome, by the way. Yeah, I agree with so many of his stances. Not in the anime stance or the video games stance, but we are all different. That is what makes us so interesting. That is what makes this interesting. Maybe Matt Walsh doesn't like anime or doesn't believe that men should be playing video games. I respect his stance, and I'm sure that he respects my stance as well. And sometimes it has been this scrimmages online, people fighting with him. It's not real fights, because these topics, for God's sake, these are not real topics. These are not present topics that we're talking about. But every single one of us has like a point. But our main point, like the principle, is that no matter if you're Matt Walsh or Constantine Kissin or Jesus Enrique Rosas, we want everybody to have like this platform to be able to express ourselves. And in my case, I'm really invested that people be able to think for themselves, that you, my lovely body language bodies, think for yourself and have the tools to, this is how I can interpret and read the world and people's behavior and draw my own conclusions and, well, live my life in regards to that conclusions. Nobody is thinking for me. That is my main idea with this channel. So we need to talk about that joke. We need to talk about that joke, that Puerto Rican joke. And I left it for the end for a very good reason. In fact, I just forgot we needed to talk about that. I was a bit disorganized today, but I know that I have it somewhere. Here it is. Here is the Puerto Rican joke. And I have a couple annotations here, by the way, of that, because I don't want to miss any of the points. I'm going to put the joke. I'm going to play the joke. Okay, let's do things right now. Let's do things the right way. Sorry. Let's do things the right way and make this. Remember that all these topics that we are right now in a live stream, you will find them as standalone videos afterwards in my Body Language Guide channel. Now I want to test this week. If I do a live stream, a 2-hour live stream, and then after the live stream, I republish the videos in the same channel, how does it work? How does the algorithm react to that? I want to test it, okay? And depending on how that test goes, then we will move the live stream back to the Power Pundit. Could be one thing, or we'll leave it right there. Some of you have been concerned about the possibility that I just like condense all the channels back in one single channel. That is a possibility. That is a possibility. Even royal stuff, maybe even royal stuff, like I did at some point with the Body Language Guy itself. But maybe, for example, if we have, I don't know, an important troop in the color, for example. Okay, maybe we could do that live stream on the Royal Rogue, which is very specific for the Royals. Okay, we still have the Royal Rogue. At some point, maybe we have very specific live streams about the Royals and non-Royals. We'll still have the Royal Rogue. But as long as, for example, if I had to analyze Harry's body language briefly, right, of a clip, then I can do in this very live shows because it would be a body language analysis. If there's a body language analysis of Meghan and Harry, I can do it here, right here, maybe near the end of the show or the second half of the show. That's one thing. That the other possibility, something that's absolutely going to happen, is that after all this election cycle, let's say after November, after January, whoever is installed, yeah, I will keep talking about politics, but of course it's not going to be the same intensity that these days. It's something that is obvious. And then maybe I will be opening to other topics. Maybe we could talk about true crime sometimes. Anything that is going on with the culture war as well. And but the idea would be to, well, this is already my channel with my name. If you have been watching this live stream from the beginning, at the beginning I explained why did I change my channel name from the Body Language Guy to Jesus Enrique Rosas, and now this is my channel in my name. I'm still the Body Language Guy. This is still the Body Language Guy show. This is still, it's gonna be the Body Language Guy show for a while, but now my channel is the Jesus Enrique Rosas channel. My channel, so I can, well, essentially talk about anything that I want, provided that I organize everything on playlists, okay? I will make sure to organize everything, every topic for my playlist. So maybe you want to follow certain topics and not follow others. For example, I have a playlist about leveling up together, where I have published all these videos about how to improve ourselves, how to improve our life, which I don't do all the time. But if you want to watch them, you have that playlist. Yeah, criminal analysis is cool as well. You can talk about labor in Great Britain. That will keep me busy. Yes, I should talk about the UK as well. I should talk about the UK as well. That is a topic that, oh my God, it's urgent. Keir Starmer is what is wrong with that guy? Talking about who is not is workers. That's the discussion right now. That if you have assets that generate income, then you are not a working citizen or something like that. It's something crazy. What that guy, it's Jesus having an identity crisis. That is funny, Eric. That is a funny remark. Because I always making all sorts of experiments. I love to experiment. YouTube has been an awesome experience in this 4 years. Has been 4 years and a half. Oh my God! Next year I'm like 5 years into this. So awesome. We need to do something. It has been constant experimentation. I have already talked about that. I don't want to go. Today is not long live ranting day. Maybe that could be on Saturdays. We could do an open free rant, but we need to talk. We need to talk about that joke, that Puerto Rico joke that, let's say, everybody was talking about this morning, and I had some reactions and some opinions, and I want to share with you. But first, we need to look at the clip so you understand the actual joke. What this guy said, Kill Tony, I think his name, but especially try to listen to how he delivered it. Okay, try to pay attention to the delivery. The delivery is important, and of course, the body language.
I live in the great state of Texas now. 18 years in Ohio, 20 years in California, and I got to see California turn to absolute horrendous thing. And traveling the world, I got to see San Francisco turn into one of the most demented cities, one of the greatest downfalls I've ever seen. And that is where the other candidate worked for 2 decades.
This was sort of an introduction because I'm going to talk about one topic that is important. That's humor. How do you make humor land? And well, people are telling me, oh, you don't have a sense of humor. And well, many of you already know that I do have a sense of humor, and I take humor very seriously. No pun intended, but let's continue.
It's absolutely wild to see. And in Texas, stuff is really, really crazy. Where are my proud Latinos at tonight? You guys see what I mean? It's wide open. There's so many of them. It's absolutely incredible. Believe it or not, people, I welcome migrants to the United States of America with open arms. And by open arms, I mean like this.
Okay, so I was watching this guy, and I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt. But for most of his skit, of his routine, I don't know what is the name that they use for that, I didn't find him especially funny. I mean, at no point I found him offensive, not at all. And we're going to talk about racist jokes as well. But in fact, what I did not find him was funny, which I think that is a great offense.
It's wild. And these Latinos, they love making babies too. Just know that. They do. They do. There's no pulling out.
Yeah, I don't know why he, when he was going to deliver the, the jokes, like he was talking about the pulling out and the coming in, that was part of a punchline. He lowered his voice tone and he looked down like he was forgetting his line, who was checking something.
They don't do that. They come inside, just like they did to our country.
Yeah, notice that the delivery of the joke was so lousy, especially because he lowered his voice tone, and he didn't, deliver it the right way. There was no response. Nobody laughed at that joke. Basically, there was no. He had to laugh at his own joke. I mean, who is this guy? So many people saying, "Oh, but he's amazing. You don't understand his humor." No, he doesn't have humor. I know humor, people. You can watch maybe my first videos on the body language guy. I made sure to include a lot of levity and memes on it. And no, this wasn't it. And you have the opportunity. This is something. You have the opportunity to practice it for many days before. But let's continue.
Republicans are the party with a good sense of humor. Free speech is under attack, people. I host a show, and each week I get updates what words we're allowed to use and not use anymore.
Okay, this was, again, it was really boring. But let's jump into the actual joke, the joke itself, which is part the whole thing. I don't know what it is. I think it was. Okay, this was right here. Sorry, I forgot to just find it. Okay, there comes the joke. Okay. Sorry about that. I forgot to just put a marker in there. Here comes the Puerto Rico joke. Let's listen to the delivery so you can understand what I mean.
It is absolutely wild times. It really, really is. And, there's a lot going on. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but there's literally a floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean right now. Yeah. I think it's called Puerto Rico. Okay, all right, okay, we're getting there. Again, normally I don't follow the national anthem, everybody. This isn't exactly a perfect comedy setup.
Delivery, timing, setup is all off. A joke, it's like, maybe you're not telling a joke, but a comedy skit has this structure. You set up the joke. Let's say that the joke is the complete process, right? Or the complete process. And the setup is how you build up the the parts that are going to end up in the punchline. And I love humor so much, and I find humor so important, so fascinating. It's because the punchline is something that just pops up on the listener's mind. All right? It pops up on the person's mind, and then you laugh because, most important, first rule of humor, humor tells the truth. The punchline is funny because it tells the truth in some way. And you analyze a joke that you like, you say, okay, that was funny, that was witty, it was a witty way of telling the truth. And that's why, well, it is funny. But it's important that you mind how you build, who set up the joke. In this case, the remark that there's a huge island of garbage in the middle of the ocean and it's called Puerto Rico, where did that come from? He was talking about Latinos in general, all right? He also made jokes about, well, how to say this? I have to, originally I thought, when I saw the joke out of context, I hadn't seen the skit. I'm going to explain. I hadn't seen the skit. I really thought that this was some kind of, well, let's do something so the left-leaning media has something to say about this, something to attack. Sometimes you give a decoy, okay? You give them a decoy, all the headlines talk about something, and then, well, they miss all the other people, all the amazing people who spoke there. We talk about Vivek and Dr. Phil, for example. Hulk Hogan was amazing as well. And I thought that maybe that was a strategy. But when I watched the whole skit, 11 minutes of this, it was really unfunny. It was not funny at all. You might say, okay, Jesus, but this is a rally. This is not meant to be a full stand-up comedy special. But then why do you invite a comedian? Why do you invite a comedian? If you invite a comedian, if you want to, well, you want that to be funny. All right? So the joke comes out of nowhere. And again, I am not offended by it. I am not Puerto Rican, of course. I think that it matters. So many Puerto Ricans online have said that they were not offended by that. There's one thing that you need to understand. Again, he also talked about blacks. He talked about carving watermelons for Halloween. But that is your typical stereotype of blacks, okay? I think that is not offensive in the least because it's even predictable. There was the only joke that I thought that was maybe 6 out of 10, was the highlight, was when he said that these conflicts like Russia, Ukraine, or Israel, Palestine, it should be defined with scissors, paper, stone game. But well, you know that Palestine is always going to use stones. Oh, what? That was more or less okay. That was, you're getting to it. 6 out of 10. But the rest was awful. The rest was awful. And one thing that people tried to justify what he did. People were trying to justify what he did was saying, oh, wait, but there's a problem. There's an explanation to this. I need to look for the explanation that people were given. There's an explanation. Joe context is here. Puerto Rico is currently experiencing a landfill crisis. It was a joke about that. That is the context. But liberals don't exercise any intellectual curiosity, so they don't know that and just decide to be offended on behalf of others. Okay, that's an explanation. But then it's my question. How many people know about Puerto Rico's problems with trash? How many people know about that? I didn't know it. I had to do some research about it. At some point, someone said, oh, maybe he's trying to bring awareness to it. Okay? Because, well, they are at capacity. There's an actual problem about that in Puerto Rico of trash. But he never explains that. watermelon and blacks joke works because it is a stereotype that almost everybody knows, right? It is not offensive. We are way past that. It is now offensive because, well, you know that people that get offended for everything, but the watermelon and blacks or fried chicken and blacks, that is not offensive anymore, for God's sake. You're not going to be offended about that. But everybody knows, or virtually everybody knows about that stereotype. But not everybody knows the context of the Puerto Rico and garbage joke. And if you have to explain the context of your joke so it lands in some way, then it's a bad joke. It's essentially a bad joke. So I don't have the problem of being offensive. I mean, again, I am a Latino. If I wanted to do, well, a routine with racist jokes, I will excel at it. It's something that is in our blood. We make fun of ourselves all the time. We make fun of races all the time. Something that we do. But there's another. I have another annotation here, which is the reason why there's this problem in Puerto Rico about garbage. It's not simply that it has been mismanaged by the local government. The problem is all the debris that past hurricanes have left in the island. So, okay, there could be some part of the mismanagement and maybe corruption. I don't know. I'm not going to go into there. Maybe you are from Puerto Rico. You can chime in with that. But if there's a tiny possibility that, or some influence that the trash problem of Puerto Rico has to do with hurricanes, and it makes sense because you have all this debris all the way back from Hurricane Maria in 2017, and they had another hurricane in 2021, if I remember correctly, 21, and in January of this year also. Then that garbage problem is not joke material. You need to do your own research. And he was saying, "Oh, I travel to Puerto Rico all the time. I love Puerto Rico." If you travel all the time and you love Puerto Rico, you would know that the garbage problem, well, has to do with tragedies at the same time. So no, that is a no-go, man. That is a no-go. Some people have mentioned as well. I don't know if I've had. We're going to talk about Kamala. Some people have mentioned as well that George Lopez was making fun of Mexicans during a Democrat rally. And he was making this joke. George Lopez was making a joke that when Trump was building the wall, they had to make sure to build it quickly, because if they just left all the materials overnight, they would be stolen. Who were going to steal them? Well, the Mexicans. And say, "Oh, that is stereotyping. That is racist." Yeah, but George Lopez has Mexican or Latino ancestry, and that's something that he has been doing for years, talking about, well, Latinos in that regard. And I can understand it at the same time. I need you to understand the complexity of this, because we have comedians, Venezuelans. We have George Harris, for example. Big shout out to George Harris. I laugh a lot with that guy. He can be really crude and self-deprecating in terms of Venezuelans, but he's Venezuelan, I am Venezuelan, and we laugh at whatever he says in that same way. It's something that we connect through it. I don't know what kind of example I give you right now, but it's something that just happens. The fact that you have a joke that is out of context, nobody knows that you travel to Puerto Rico. Nobody knows that you are involved or not in what is Puerto Rico going through. The joke is badly set up. And obviously, there was absolutely no explanation after that. Maybe you could bring awareness. People have asked me, what would have you done differently? Well, first of all, not do the Puerto Rico garbage joke. But let's pretend for a moment that I'm forced. You need to make this joke live, Jesus. It is, you have to absolutely do it. What would I do? Well, it's very simple. I understand, I did some research. I understand that the federal government can help Puerto Rico in many ways. And in fact, the proof is that Kamala released a video that she is, saying that she's going to help Puerto Rico, which was very odd timing. The same day, within hours of this guy doing that joke of Puerto Rico and garbage. We're going to be talking about that as well. What would have I said? I would have said, you know that there's this pile of garbage in the middle of the ocean, which is called Puerto Rico, but it's not something to laugh. I wish it was a joke, but the problem is that so many people have been suffering through hurricanes, and President Trump helped them in 2017, and much of that help was retained and taken away for political reasons. And it was this tug of war just to make Donald Trump look bad. And you can see the media saying that, it was Donald Trump's fault, of course. The media, MSNBC, the one that pops up in first place. So I'm sure that at some point Kamala would even say that she's going to fix Puerto Rico. And my question is, why hasn't she done it yet? There it is. I inserted, I would have set up the joke better, all right? Maybe talk something about the garbage in San Francisco, or maybe talk about human stools in San Francisco, and then the garbage in the middle of the ocean, and then segue into a political topic that Donald Trump helped in 2017, but Kamala Harris pretends that she's going to do something, but she hasn't done anything in this year. Whoa, that is it. You set up the joke, you say the island garbage joke, and you segue into making, saying the reality about Donald Trump's first administration, and putting the ball in Kamala's court. Is that easy? Is that too much to ask? If you're a comedian, I'm going to tell you my body language buddies. And I already said that I want to be the king of New York as well. I want to make it there. If I can make it there, I can make it anywhere. If I have the opportunity, to speak for 11 minutes at the Madison Square Garden, at the greatest rally of one of the most, if not the most relevant and, decisive election in modern times, and I have 11 minutes, you will be sure that I would write down those 11 minutes. I would memorize those 11 minutes, and I would practice those 11 minutes no less than 100 times, because I know that the whole world will be watching every word, every body language, only by body language, all my voice, everything. This is my time to shine. These are my 11 minutes of absolute fame. I will be with Dr. Phil. I will be with Hulk Hogan. I will be with Vivek Ramaswamy. I will be with J.D. Vance. I will be with Donald J. Trump on stage for 11 minutes. How much do you think I'm going to practice that? I'm going to practice it no matter what. Some people have said, maybe he was nervous. How can you afford to be nervous? How you curb that nervousness that he has experienced with stand-up comedy? I don't know how. You practice it. You're still nervous. You are still nervous. Oh, my sweet summer child, you practice again 10 times, 10 more times. Go ahead. But give me 10. Give me 10. You spend hours polishing the delivery of every word. That's the responsibility that you have. This guy is not a professional. This guy is an amateur. I don't care of any of his record. He's an amateur, and he blew it, and it was bad. It was not even offensive. I know how to be offensive, and many of you already know it. And I know how to be offensive in an intelligent way to craft a message. I can do a better job than that guy, but I'm still starting. But step by step, I will get there. You can be sure that I will get there. But we have then that coincidence that Kamala had the same, the message about Puerto Rico, the same day, within hours of the guy telling this joke. Interesting that Bad Bunny came out defending and supporting Kamala Harris within minutes of all this happening. And both Kill Tony and Bad Bunny are managed by the same agency. I don't know. One thing is for certain. One thing is for certain. My body language bodies. This is very simple. If someone has decided to vote for Donald Trump, by this point, if they hadn't voted already, if someone has decided to vote for Donald Trump, that joke is not going to dissuade them from voting for Donald Trump. We agree on that. And if by any chance someone's decision to vote for Donald Trump is swayed or changed, or they are dissuaded to vote for Donald Trump just by that Puerto Rico garbage joke, they could have been dissuaded by literally anything. Anything. A mosquito passes, oh no, I'm not going to vote for Donald Trump. A neighbor says something, I'm not voting for Donald Trump. They're going to eat ice cream and the ice cream falls to the floor, I am not voting for Donald Trump. So at this point, that joke is not going to affect anything at all. But having said that, my question is, how close is the presidential race? Because you also have to remember that thanks to Hurricane Maria in 2017, the exodus of Puerto Ricans to Pennsylvania means that there are almost 500,000 Puerto Ricans in there right now, in Pennsylvania. So, I am a perfectionist. I don't like those loose ends. I don't like that. I have a big trouble with that kind of stuff. I smell a rat in here. Again, I don't think that's going to make much of a difference. But so many Puerto Ricans in Pennsylvania, such an important, critical state, it's worth thinking about. And another thing that is worth thinking about is that you are at the not at the monosodium glutamate, no, at the Madison Square Garden, and you have this opportunity, and you want to be edgy, and you want to trigger people. Who do you want to trigger? You want to? Do you think it's the place to? Oh, let's do race jokes. I mean, I have said it. I can be the king of racist jokes any day of the week. But if you're at a greatest MAGA rally in the Madison Square Garden, you have 11 minutes to roast the heck of your opponents. You roast Kamala Harris. You roast Tim Walz. And the Tim Walz changing his tampon. That is expected. How many times have we read that joke on X? Everybody knows that joke. That is not an innovative joke. That is not a roast. Everybody knows about that. You roast the woke mind virus, because I don't think it's fair to roast the people who have been brainwashed. I think that there are Democrats, people that are going to vote for Kamala Harris, that are being brainwashed. And I don't think it's fair to mock them, because maybe they cannot help with all the propaganda that they have been brainwashed. But you can absolutely roast the woke mind virus and the men in women's restrooms and all the stuff. Those are your opponents. You have 11 minutes. You have to make the most of them. How can you drop that ball like that? You are pathetic. You are pathetic. I don't care. And then you begin to justify yourself on X. That is even worse, you moron. That is even worse. Stand by your words. Don't explain the joke. Oh, your joke needs an explanation. Then it's a bad joke. That is the reality. I don't have anything else to add to that. Oh my God. Well, that's it. Let's see your comments. How your comments? I needed to get that out of my system. You know that there was something that happened this morning in which I was really thinking about that. As I'm telling you, no, definitely, Jenny, he was no George Carlin. Nobody is George Carlin anymore. That guy, you can imagine George Carlin in that stage, boy. Or is this other guy, the name? Norm Macdonald. Man, you can imagine Norm Macdonald in that stage. That would have been amazing. Even Bill Burr, even if he's married to a staunch leftist, even Bill Burr would have done a better job. Norm Macdonald, George Carlin, those people would have just destroyed everything there. Would been amazing. Yeah, those guys are absolute certified legends. But no, for me, humor. For me, humor is really important. Reading your comments. Okay, some of you in your comments, I got fans of Kill Tony. You have to understand, I didn't know Kill Tony until now. I'm going to highlight your comments. I'm going to search for your comments. Search for your comments here. Some of you are saying, for example, Austin Allison. Austin, you say that Kill Tony is awesome. Maybe he is. But how do you drop that ball? Because that routine, that skit was bad. Sharon Peterson, Kill Tony was a big hit. Everyone is talking about him. LOL, all channels on YouTube. Yes, it should be for good, right? Oh, every attention is good attention. Yeah, sure. Every publicity is good publicity. People have told me, I haven't seen that. Maybe Kill Tony was great with the Tom Brady roast. I haven't seen that. Many people have reached out to me. Oh, he's great. He did a great roast of Tom Brady. Then what happened right now? Why was he like all over the place? Timing, body language, voice, everything. Yeah, this is a problem. This is a problem. You would have to watch Kill Tony to get more of his sense of humor. He's hilarious and has millions of views every Monday night on YouTube. He welcomes new and veteran comedians. That is the problem. My first impression, I think that the first impression of many people of Kill Tony was something that was all over the place. It was amateurish. Again, if the guy is so good, which I have real doubts, he must have understood the severity of the situation, how critical was the situation. It was, and if he was, he had carte blanche to say at what he pleased, I think someone should have taken a look at what he was going to say at the rally. It was, oh yeah, everybody, he's a genius. Everybody's talking about him. I trust my taste. I know my stuff. All right. Of course, if he has a career doing that, I respect Kill Tony's career doing that. I respect the audience that he's got. That is great. But what I saw in that rally was absolutely disastrous. Was terrible. I have no other words. Oh, you shouldn't. If you are a new audience, and any stand-up comedian knows that. Any stand-up comedian knows that maybe you're at a bar at a city that you've never been, and people don't know who you are. And you have to engage people that don't have a clue of who you are, don't have a clue about your humor, don't have a clue about anything, and you just have to light up the room. That's how stand-up comedians thrive. You cannot afford, oh, it's because you have not seen my... It's like when you were watching this Disney shows, this is Star Wars show. Oh, you did not understand this show because you didn't watch this movie or did not know. That doesn't work like that. It should work in itself. Your routine should work in itself. Maybe you have quips here and there for your longer lasting fans. That is nice. Like that inside jokes, those Easter eggs that only the people that have been following for you for years will understand. You know that sausages, if I say sausages, you already know what I'm talking about. But you have to make your humor as universal as possible, especially if you are on that huge scale. If you make your humor, I'm trying to say that, okay, there must be an explanation. No, the explanation was it felt flat. It fell flat. There's no further explanation. Again, this is not envy at all. This is actual criticism. And just the fact that he was defending himself tells me that he knew that he could have prepared better for that. He could have prepared for that. Okay, Charles has a point. Charles, blessing game, roasting the audience at a rally is not a good idea. In my opinion, time and place is crucial in comedy. Okay, maybe you have. Oh, that's something that I heard. Kill Tony has his staple, his experience is in racist, edgy jokes. Nice. That is great. That is your niche. That's what you have developed. I respect that. Again, I respect what Kill Tony has developed as a comedian. But in that situation, man, you have to focus your jokes on the opponents, on the enemy, not on people who can, vote for the candidate who's hosting the rally where you're at. So this is for me, this is really frustrating. And I try to be as professional as possible, and I am really competitive. And you would ask me, you think you can do better, Jesus? Yes, I absolutely think I can do better. And I also believe, I'm going to say this. If there are so many people that find Kill Tony funny, it must be because the guy has to work his ass off to be whatever he is. So my question is, if you have worked your ass off to be whatever you are, why didn't you work your ass off to just break a leg at the Madison Square Garden with MAGA rally? That is just irresponsible, and there's no other way to call that. But well, things come. This is not gonna make a difference. I'm sure this. By the way, this is just a prediction. I think that Donald Trump is gonna win the popular vote. He's gonna become the 47th president of the United States. And well, oh yes, I am irritated because I don't like missing opportunities. I don't like lack of professionalism. I don't like that. That was amateurish. One racist joke, please. All right. Tony had the privilege of preparing something. Let me have a couple of days to prepare my content myself. It's not gonna be aired on YouTube, that is for sure. But you're not a win this one. Shark Tank, you're in the wrong place. I win every single one in this. You know what? You know why? Because of this. Again, because of this. This is my show. In my show, I always win. You're in the wrong place. You must be new here. But no, I always try to be fair. I understand your point. You're not gonna win this one, but I am always fair. I have defended Meghan Markle at some point, in some very specific moments. I have defended Kamala Harris in very specific moments. I can be fair, but I will not tolerate being not professional in those circumstances. When the body language guy checks the other body language guy, we need the meme of the Spider-Man. We did the Spider-Man meme. At some point I did. At some point I consider Shark Tank. Now that you are asking, I would love to see you stand up. I have been watching for a while, and I do think you can be funny. The thing is that being comedians, stand-up comedians like Kill Tony, I have a lot of respect for them for one reason. I have a lot of respect because it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of work to be actually funny, to be innovative, to be creative, to create it funny. It's a lot, and being week over week, every week, or even every day, No, that is really stressful, because it's not only the jokes. You know how to deliver. You need to know how to deliver them, how to do that in an engaging way, and especially the hardest part is how do you warm up a completely cold audience that doesn't have any idea of who you are. For me, it would be easy to do some kind of humor routine here, not on YouTube, the racist jokes, but why? Because you have been following for so long, and we have been enjoying memes and jokes and spontaneous quips here and there. That is a bit like cheating. The real challenge would be funny with an audience that doesn't know me. That would be the real challenge. But again, I try to be funny here. All right. 10 million to speak with Jesus. 10 million. Well, I think that was I needed to take that out of my chest. Wait a second. What about hiding some trolls? I mean, for example, people have agreed to disagree or have disagreed with me politely. Right? That is nice. That's something that is that I accept wholeheartedly. But if you begin to troll or spam in the comments, you will be banned immediately. So, my body language buddies, this was episode number 6. We didn't have monologue today, but we had 2 solid hours speaking about a series of topics. This week, I will keep making this show on the Body Language Guy channel on YouTube. And now you will see these individual topics published on the Body Language Guy. Let's see how it goes. And what else? We will meet again tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. And am I forgetting something? No, I think that's it. Well, my Body Language buddies, my name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Body Language Guy. And until we meet on another video or another live, remember the most important words. Much love and bliss. Take care. Be safe. I love every single one of you. Bye-bye.